My thoughts on online bullying is that it's a horrific experience to go through. It's very different to being bullied in person because it's constant. It doesn't stop. It's when you're being bullied at school or in the workplace, you can go home afterwards and that's it. But when you being bullied online, it's that constant access to everything, and you can't turn off your life, and you can't turn off your phone, and there's more of an impression there. It's more direct, it's more personal almost, because it's attacking you through your means of living. Receiving the death threat was, for me, a real eye-opener of how dangerous Twitter can be. As a managing director, is that I'm addicted to my phone. I'm on it 24/7, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, social media in general, emails, and it's the first negative experience I've had of Twitter. And obviously I know what can happen through working with you, and it was an horrific experience. I received a death threat that stated that they knew where I lived, they were going to come and fix me. And what made it worse was that at the time it was nighttime, I was at home on my own, so it was a lot more unsettling and it was a lot more terrifying. It was also, I didn't really understand why I was receiving the death threat either. It was completely out of the blue. I didn't know who the person was. I'd never spoken to the person. And it was directly linked to working with your campaign, which was even worse because they're threatening me over something that I feel that I'm doing good for. For me, is that yes, it was scary, it was a horrific experience. I didn't sleep that night, but there was a logical thought process that I thought my way out of the fears, thinking, well, I don't know this person doesn't know me, there's nothing on my Twitter page or any of my social media that gives away where I live, there's no possible way that this person can find out where I live. But for someone on the autistic spectrum, that thought process isn't possible because there are different levels, as you said, there are levels of anxiety, it's confusing, it's direct, it's a threat, and people on the autistic spectrum would interpret that threat as a genuine attack that someone is going to carry out. And it heightens the level of fear and it heightens all of the emotions. So I couldn't imagine how that would feel in itself. Mm-hmm. There are so many ways that people can support this campaign, even by putting their name to it through Twitter and Facebook, contacting their local authorities and their local MPs, getting them to back the campaign. Even if it's something as simple as discussing the campaign on Twitter and showing their support through that, the word gets spread, especially through Twitter. And if it gets retweeted and it gets out to the right people, that's what's most important, that the campaign is put in front of the right people through people that are talking about it.